We hear Peter, in his typically bold way, asking Jesus, all right, Jesus, what do we get out of this? They've just heard Jesus tell the rich young man to give up everything. He said, if you want to be perfect, sell what you have, give to the poor, and come follow me. That was yesterday's gospel. And the rich young man was not able to do that. He was not able to give up. He went away sad. And Jesus was sad that he was not able to give up everything for the kingdom of heaven. So Peter then realizes that he and the other apostles have given up family, lands, houses. What does he mean by that? Peter did have a house and he had a wife. But when he started to follow Jesus, in effect, he gave up these things. He went on the road. He didn't live at home. He didn't live with his wife. They went with Jesus. In effect, they gave up everything. So Peter says, well, okay, Lord, what do we get out of this? And Jesus tells him, you're going to get 100 times as much in this life as you gave up. And in the next life, you're going to get eternal life, the greatest you can imagine. But in this life, what does he mean? What does Jesus mean? He's telling the apostles now. He's not telling all of us. He's telling the apostles. They've given up their houses. They've gone on the road with Jesus. He's talking about the new life that they will have as apostles of Jesus Christ. Yes, they gave up their family at home, but what about all the families of the churches that they founded? The churches that they founded as they traveled from place to place and built new families. For example, think of a priest like Father Oles. He has all these people. He has a new family as a pastor of a parish. That's the fruit of his following Jesus. You might say he gave up his own family in a way, but look what he gained. He's a part of all of your families. And Jesus is talking about the life of the Christian in this world. Yes, the Christian in this world gives up things to follow Christ. He sacrifices, he gives up things, and sometimes even has to give up his life in this world. That's why we're thinking about the persecuted Christians this morning. That's why this Mass is offered for the persecuted. And there are plenty of them, especially in the Near East. In the Muslim lands, many Christians are being persecuted. They're giving up their houses, they're being driven out, they're giving up their families, they're giving up their lives, some of them. What are they gaining in this life? If you gain Jesus and his family and his Father in heaven, you have something precious. And we have peace in our soul, don't we? To follow Jesus is to have peace in your soul and peace with other people. And the more generous we are, as we heard in the first reading about how generosity pleases God, the more generous we are, the more we grow in love, the more we gain in this life. The happiest people in this life are those who follow Jesus with love and generosity. And even in this life, then, to follow Jesus is to gain a wonderful reward of peace of soul. Whereas we know that all the possessions in the world do not really make one happy. Some of the most miserable people in the world have all the money that they can use and more, and they're miserable. If they would follow Christ, they would have 100 times more in this life, to say nothing of eternal life to come.